Now to Sipho Stuurman. He's covering this case for us between the Cyril Ramaphosa as well as the public protector in Pretoria. Sipho Stuurman, very good morning to you. Let's start with recapping on what happened yesterday.
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers at home. We're coming outside the Pretoria North Gauteng High Court, where it was a legal battleground here yesterday for the first day of this review. Essentially, President Ramaphosa's legal team fired the first shots, calling Public Protector Mkhwebane a rogue public protector and a reckless one that thumbsucks the findings in an effort to find President Ramaphosa guilty by all means, ignoring all facts before her. Now, Ramaphosa's team also questioned whether Mkhwebane had the authority to investigate the CR17 campaign, saying that the CR17 campaign is outside the confines of her powers, saying that public protector's powers are limited to state affairs and matters of public administration. So certainly they've come here to say that the CR17 report that was released by Mkhwebane should be set aside and be found that it was unlawful. We know in that report Mkhwebane found that the president deliberately misled Parliament, and also she made a finding that there might have been a case of a suspected case of money laundering in that campaign, where of course the transactions are estimated to be around 2 billion rands, where were monitored. And she said then the public protector then of course asked the NPA to possibly investigate money laundering, but Cyril Ramaphosa's team says perhaps the public protector does not understand what money laundering means, and saying that the president never benefited financially himself from the campaign. In fact, the president contributed his own money, 37.2 million of his own money to the campaign, so it was never anything that he personally benefited from playing.
So no doubt, interesting day at court. Big takeaways from yesterday's proceedings. What can we expect from today, Sipho?
Well, today the public protector's team, that is Advocate Busisiwe, is of course going to fight back from the arguments that were made by the president's team, and they started yesterday, of course, arguing that the public protector's investigative powers are not supposed to bow down to anybody or any office, and that she was within her rights to investigate the CR17 campaign in its entirety. Because one of the key issues here is that the complaint that was laid by former DA leader Mkhwebane to public protector was the 500,000 donation made by Bosasa, but then a public protector then looked into the campaign entirely. Now, one of the arguments that we made was that she may have overreached by investigating the campaign in its entirety, and that she should have limited investigation into that 500,000 rands that was reported by former DA leader Mkhwebane. However, of course, Mkhwebane's lawyers disputed that, saying that she was well within her powers then to investigate further if she sees suspicious transactions. And of course, we know that she then said that she suspected a case of money laundering. And also they're saying that the president cannot say that he did not benefit from this campaign just because he did not get money back in his pocket. They're saying the fact that he was eventually elected ANC president and became state president, then he benefited as a result of this campaign. So they were countering that argument that the president had not benefited from this campaign. They're saying, well, we also must question what are the intentions or what are the motives of those funders who put lots of money into this campaign to make sure that Cyril Ramaphosa is elected into the presidency. What are they hoping to get back in return? So lots of illegal wrangling here going back and forth, but it's a serious case. It's a full bench here in the North Gauteng High Court with Judge President Mlambo leading the judges here, of course, and so it will determine the way forward. Of course, we know that Public Protector Mkhwebane's future hangs in the balance. Parliamentary proceedings to impeach her are underway. So certainly if she loses this case, then it would add fuel to those calls for her to step down. But also we know that President Ramaphosa also faces some criticism outside and within his own party. So if he loses here, then it will also add fuel to those that are criticizing him and perhaps want him to be limited to one term. So there's a lot at stake for both parties here, and it's day 2 of that review, and Public Protector's legal team is on the stand to try and defend this report that she released last year in July.
Sipho, it's shaping up to be an interesting day in court, no doubt. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Sipho Stuurman, live for us in the capital. Appreciate it.